Well, hello there. It's time for another episode of Terrible Local Body Candidates that you really shouldn't vote for. And this time we're going to Waipa District Council, which to be fair is where I grew up. And we're actually dealing with the father of somebody I went to high school with. I'd like you to meet Bernard Westerbarn. Bernard here is actually a member of the Te Awa Mutu Grey Power Incorporated, whatever they're calling themselves these days, and he is seeking 3 different positions within the Waipa District Council. He wants to go for the Mayoralty, he also wants to go for the Te Awa Mutu Kihikihi Ward, as well as the Te Awa Mutu Kihikihi Community Board. He's basically throwing his head in the ring and hoping that something sticks, but something's not quite right here. Like this big orange thing is actually a big red flag. The fact that he had messaged the Ministry of Health so many times about just how dangerous fluoride and vaccines are that they physically blocked him from being able to send emails, that's a pretty big sign that someone has a little bit of a bug in their bonnet and doesn't quite get the message sometimes. And having a look through his content on his page, you see that there are wonderful people like Peter Mortlock, the head of City Vision Church, which has been in the news an awful lot for being an asshole of an organisation. And of course there's content here from Matt King's New Nation Party, basically an anti-vax party for people who don't like the government. And it's got such inscrutable names like Peter Williams, the former guy who read the news, as part of their organisation. His timeline is littered with this kind of misinformation. In fact, one survey that he did as some residents association thing finding out more about the mayoral candidates, where he pointed out fluoride is poison and it's illegal for the government to force their council into putting fluoride into the water, despite the fact that's exactly what happened, and he showed up and protested it all and didn't quite understand that you can't protest the council for something that they've been made to do by government legislation. It's not going to make a difference. Anyway, his job apparently as mayor would be to simply walk around and say hi to people and shake hands and make sure that people knew he was listening. For the record, the job of mayor does involve more than just nodding, smiling, shaking hands and eating tiny little club sandwiches. Although I do like the tiny little club sandwiches part of the job, to be fair. But that's not what the mayor involves. So if you are voting in Te Awa Mutu Kihikihi, in the Waipa district in general, which also includes places like Cambridge and Pirongia, which is where I grew up, don't vote for this guy, because he is just another one of those anti-vax people who are out there trying to spread misinformation and get your vote because he didn't like being told what to do by the government.